This story is of Aiden, a 10-year-old boy challenged with cerebral palsy. It's a story of his journey to roll, crawl, and walk for the first time. As you can imagine, it's a story of difficulties, but also a story of overcoming. Most importantly, it's a story of a single child's spirit and how he has lifted and inspired himself and those around him. We are dancers who work with children with severe disabilities. Children with severe disabilities are stuck in their bodies. Like other children, they long to move, but their energy has become constrained, and over the years, many give up. Having helped hundreds of children as somatic therapists, we see ourselves as guides to help children free their bodies so that their true spirit can flow.
He's going to continue to grow.
Dr. Janet Saunderson is a pediatrician who works with many disabled children. She's been Aiden's doctor since he was 2 years old and deeply understands the medical challenges he faces.
So cerebral palsy is an injury that's occurred to the brain. It is a static lesion, not a degenerative one, and it affects primarily the motor areas of the brain. So a child that is affected with cerebral palsy is likely to have increased tone. It's the most common form of cerebral palsy, so what we refer to as spasticity. So there may be a will to sort of move forward, but it becomes a chronic issue.
You're so conveniently located.
Okay.
Confined to a wheelchair since infancy, Aiden's body has become hard and so contracted that it's impossible for Dr. Saunderson to extend his body to get his measurements.
Because of the increased tone, he has developed contractures in his joints. It results in his way of mobility when he's not in a chair, and it's standing in his way of learning how to walk.
How many seizures do you think he is having? I don't know.
For many parents, every doctor's visit introduces a fresh array of expensive and intimidating treatment options. Despite the advances in the medical field, the right path of intervention is often far from clear.
There's so much more to learn about the brain. Since we don't know often, at least 50% of the cases of cerebral palsy, what causes it, it's hard to predict the outcome.
At the beginning of this filming, Aiden had already been coming to the studio for 2 months. Due to his contractures, at first we weren't sure whether we could help him make progress, but an early release of his left wrist made us hopeful that our work could help him find his body again. In the early stages, we explore ways to relax and loosen Aiden's joints through patterning exercises and bodywork. Every child is different, and as Aiden is nonverbal, the learning process must begin with careful observation and sensitivity. For Pamela, the mystery of discovering what her child feels is something that began the moment Aiden was born.
I wonder about Aiden if he's in pain a lot of the times, because sometimes he cries for no apparent reason, and nothing can console him. So I really don't know what he feels most of the time, because he can't talk or use language to tell me. 4, 5.
Awareness and relaxation. These are the first patient steps to attain more high-reaching goals in the future.
Well, I'd like to see him walking if he can, and that probably sounds crazy to some people, but even if he could just walk a few, like 10 steps, it would make a big difference in terms of his independence. And if he could direct his own care someday, maybe, I don't know, maybe that might be too lofty a goal, but somebody's got to think big. If he could direct his own care someday using language, that'd be fabulous. I live in a housing co-op. We've lived there for about 15 years. It's a community, like there's about 60 units there, and we know everyone and they know us. People don't move in and out that often. Oh, okay, here, give it to me. The apartment's not really suitable for Aiden, to be honest. It's too small and it's difficult to get him in the front door. We all just cuddle up and pile into a queen-size bed, and it's pretty tight in there.
Aiden has to be fed every half hour with syringes to his stomach and orally by hand from morning until night. To provide enough care, Pamela hires a personal support worker to help with his eating, dressing, and transportation. Divorced and receiving no help from Aiden's father, Pamela's funding comes mainly from government subsidies, private grants, and her own fundraising efforts.
Okay, what is a truck? What is a truck? Transporters, long trucks.
Well, I homeschool both the kids. I was worried I wouldn't be able to homeschool Aiden because of his physical disabilities, and people said, these kids do better when they go to these intensive programs. But now I'm very confident. I know what I'm doing is better than what he would get in school.
What we're going to do, okay? Okay, I guess we'll have to get a new book to read because Karina wants to read that to herself.
The real thing that bothers me about it is it takes time away from my daughter. He can't really play with her, like he does a little bit. We try to incorporate him, but she needs to do stuff without him.
A little bit. This way, I'm going to go up this way. And I'm just going to go up and down, so I just want you to see if you can track that. So this is like Aiden. Aiden's got resistances in his body. I want you to push this way, get my fingers this way. That's it. That's it. The original somatic methods we use to help our children are focused on internal sensations rather than on pure exercise. We want children to learn experientially through creative exploration, from the inside out. And there's no better way to have parents understand the process than by having them experience it. Pamela has injuries herself, chronic issues with her back, shoulders, and pelvis. And by using our internally based flow techniques, she can experience firsthand Aiden's healing process.
Well, how I feel when it's done to me is afterwards my arm felt a lot more open, like there was space in there. It was more flexible, freer, lighter. And I can see Aiden, I can see he feels, you can see him smile, it makes him feel good. So he must be feeling the same thing that I'm feeling.
1, 2, 3, and then release it out. So you're kind of going like this, a little back, this, a little back, this, and then out. One more time, back, and then forward. Some finer points. This you want to kind of pull down while you're going that way as opposed to scrunching. Okay.
When a child has never learned how to roll, crawl, or walk, they have to come back to the beginnings of movement. In Aiden's case, even being on 4-point was something he never learned. And so we revisit every motor milestone, trying at every step to rekindle the motivation to move, to explore, and discover.
5.
Motivation to move just means wanting to move and be willing to try to move and not feeling like your body's not working and there's no point. I did feel around one year that he was giving up. I just felt by looking at him that he wasn't trying anymore. Like he really couldn't sit up until he was well over 4, like maybe 4 to 4.5.
Right now, everything we do with Aiden has to be done through our lifting, carrying, and moving him by hand. We know the mystery of learning will begin when he initiates movement on his own. Four months into Aiden's therapy, Aiden has some progress, initiating his arms during the crawling motion. It's a small step, but it's a glimpse into what he might be able to do in the future. We've also started to explore the standing position, using an old pair of shoes glued onto wooden blocks. Standing position is energetically the most strenuous of the equilibria of the body, and for Aiden, it's really, really difficult.
Come on, 10, just to 10 seconds,
Yeah.
okay?
Up, up, up. 1, up, 2.
He's just sitting on my shoulder.
Up.
Aiden.
Aiden stands up. 4. I'll bring him forward. Aiden standing. Yeah, he's
See how
really
bent that
holding
leg
on to
was?
the back legs.
This leg was really
Yeah,
bent over.
yeah. That's what we're gonna have to
This
work
way.
on.
In May 2014, Pamela, along with several other caregivers, was given a Heroes in the Home Award, a community prize awarded to dedicated caregivers of people with disabilities. The award comes with a $1,000 prize and demonstrates the system of community support that has grown in the area of disabilities over the past few decades.
Pamela stands out as an amazing caregiver as she cares for her 10-year-old son. Pamela is tireless. She homeschools her son, coordinates many outings for him, and always researches the latest therapies to benefit him. Her dedication and devotion to her child is inspiring.
Watching Pamela and her family in these communal situations shows how far our society has come to accepting people with disabilities. However, that wasn't always the case. In the spring of 2014, we had a chance to teach adapted yoga workshops with the Center of Start Services and meet with Dr. Joan Beasley, who has been involved with special needs families since the 1970s, when disability rights were just becoming recognized in North America.
My very first job was with children with autism. They were all beautiful little kids, very disabled. And while we were doing this play therapy, upstairs, the social worker was meeting with parents to teach the mothers not to be so cold and uncaring. So it was during the era when the belief from a man named Bruno Bettelheim was that autism was caused by poor parental affection toward children. So it was very different then.
The hidden social tensions surrounding disabilities was exposed at Willowbrook State School in the early 1970s. The terrible neglect of persons with mental disabilities, both by society and medicine, as well as the lack of hope in their families, left a strong impression on Dr. Beasley.
I think I visited Willowbrook when I was in high school, and it was a horrible place. There was a room called the Bird Room where people just sat in their waste and rocked all day and self-stimmed. The thing that it taught me a lot was the families themselves have internalized the stigma of having a child with a disability, the shame and the fear that they have about what their child and they're going to have to go through is just undescribable. But I remember one of the conversations I had to have with this mother. Her son had intellectual disabilities, and how now to hear that her son also had mental illness just seemed completely unacceptable, like just so tragic, so sad that she didn't know what she was going to do. And he now is doing very well on medication. He has a job, he has a girlfriend, he lives in an apartment with a roommate. And so this is one of those people and families that I carry in my heart with me. So no matter how impossible it seems when I go into a new situation, I know that people go through this. You can get it done, and there is an end. There's a positive end.
In the summer, Aiden has begun to show real signs of independence. He no longer needs constant hands-on help, and his progress is rapidly spreading to different motor areas.
Good, Aiden. Keep going. Yes. Woo. Good. Look at that. No, don't give up. That's it. Come on, Aiden. Move your feet. That's it. Yes. Go get it, Aiden. That's it. Come on, Aiden.
When the doors of learning and progress start to open, a transformation can take place in a child's body and mind. A connection is made of trust in people, of understanding expectations, of joy in movement. It can seem like a new child is blossoming forth. As dancers, we understand this flow of creative energy, the ocean of potential that can arise from just gaining insights from within the human body.
Before he couldn't crawl, he just bum scooched everywhere, and now he can roll into 4-point and crawl. And he is trying to do things that he stopped trying to do before. Like, for instance, he turns doorknobs, opens doors, like from high kneeling. He tries to get into his bed. He moves a lot more now than he used to, and he's much happier when he moves. His motivation is a lot higher. He's communicating a lot more about what he wants to do by going towards it.
Do whatever you want. Yeah, that's the rattle. That's the speakers. Yeah,
like every day there's at least one new thing he does. Whereas before you'd wait years for a new thing.
Knee.
If that's what it was.
Knee. Knee.
That's the problem when you have kids with special needs. You so slowly start giving up on things. People keep telling you over and over again, he's never going to do this, he's never going to do that. And you think, oh, well, at least slowly, one by one, you let your aspirations go. Even though you don't want to, you don't mean to. People think I'm crazy because I think he can walk. Like, no, I'm not crazy.
Stephanie. Stephanie. Mama. Mama. Good job. Mama. You're pointing. Point to Mama. Yay. Aiden. Aiden. Point to Aiden. 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 Aiden.
Well, I think it's the work he's doing here at the Spiral Praxis work at Spiral Movement Center. Definitely, that's totally what it is. I mean, I don't know what exactly is working, but the crawling and the rolling and I know Stephanie basically taught him to look on command in a way, but I don't know how she did it. Because I know now we can say, Aiden, look, and he'll look, and if we need his attention for some reason to see something we're doing, it's not 100% consistent, but it's pretty good. It's big, it's huge.
We're at Aiden's apartment where he lives, and we're going to work with him on skills, movement skills he learns at our place, and see if he can apply them here at home. Crawling in the hallway, or crawling on his bed, or looking out the window to see the garbage truck, which he likes.
We've come to Aiden's home twice this week to help him generalize movements that he's learned in the studio. Aiden is always surprised to see us at his home, and he seems eager to show what he can do.
Come on up. That's it. Keep going. Good job. That's it. Good job. Come on, Aiden. Come on. You did it! Wow, you couldn't do it on Tuesday. So this is the first time Aiden is able to crawl up onto his bed. In our studio, we work on crawling and we stack our blue mats on top of each other, so he's learning how to lift the knee and crawl up. But he wasn't generalizing that at home. We worked with him last time, and now he's able to do it. He's able to get into his own bed whenever he wants to get into his own bed.
The effect of generalization is immense for Aiden. A small step can make a huge difference in the quality and conditions of his daily life and future.
Can he go from sitting to standing from here?
Yeah, he did it the other day. Actually, I had my back turned, I was doing some laundry. So I was shocked, I turned around, he was standing at the sink.
Good job. Oh, wow. Holy smokes. Uh-oh, pretty soon. That was real easy for me to flip the foot. He sits a little bit, but he was starting to go forward to stand up. That's all it took. Ready? Push. Now he's on. Wow. Yes, good job.
Well, when he was born blue. He didn't breathe for 3 minutes. Then they revived him with oxygen, and then his brain started swelling. And then they did an MRI on day 4 when the swelling was at its peak, and as it was swelling, he had seizures, so many seizures. And they revived him and revived him. And then they did the MRI, and they showed it to us and said, well, he's got severe damage to all parts of the brain and all the different types of brain cells, and he's just including the brain stem. So they advised us to remove the ventilator and let him go, which we did. But he just kept breathing. And then he started nursing and getting stronger, and eventually we took him home after about almost 4 weeks.
In April 2015, Pamela received a donation and email from a man named Dale Carter. An airline pilot, Dale said he had been secretly watching Aiden for years during Aiden's swimming lessons in the hotel he was staying at. He said he was inspired by Aiden's tenacity and persistence in the water. We were all surprised at this strange, unexpected email.
Yeah. Come on in.
Hi.
Hi.
Dale?
Yeah.
Pamela.
Hi, Pamela.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. That's Aiden there.
Hi,
You know,
Aiden.
you know.
Yeah.
When Dale came to visit 6 months later, we found a well-built, stocky man who was friendly, relaxed, and had an intensely private manner. His interest in Aiden was apparent immediately, and through the session, we came to learn his personal reasons for following Aiden so closely.
You know, as a parent, I think my first reaction was how sad it was to see a little boy have to go through this, you know.
Me.
I never really did want to go down and bother him, so I was kind of just watching from afar and taking this all in. Kind of took me to a different plane where I didn't feel sad for him, but I just admired what he was doing. In March of 2012, I got diagnosed with leukemia and actually became very ill early on in my treatment. I ended up in ICU and basically flat on my back, not able to talk because I had a tube down my throat, not able to get out of bed, totally dependent on everyone. That's when I kind of had flashback to Aiden, you know. I could put myself in his shoes at that time and see kind of what he was struggling through, where you were so dependent on other people.
Push to mama. Yes. Good job. Really good.
Oh, I've been kind of watching him for the last 4 or 5 years. I see a little boy that's very motivated to try to improve himself. Whether or not he'll ever get out of the wheelchair or anything like that, I don't know. But I think he's got a drive within him that is just all inspiring to me. I think he was put in my life to help me through my struggles. And I don't mean that to sound selfish or anything, but he did. He put me in a better place at a time when I wasn't in a good place. He gave me strength when, I thought I couldn't go on. I don't know. I think he's maybe touched more people than what he'll ever know. For that, I'm grateful.
Stand up, Aiden. Stand up. Come on, Aiden. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up, Aiden. That's it.
On August 10th, 2015, Aidan was able to stand up independently for the first time. We knew then it was a sign he was ready to walk. Walking is a huge motor milestone, and every child has their own way of learning it. For some children, it's a question of motivation and repetition. For others, it's more emotional, a question of overcoming the fear of the unknown and gaining balance. In every case, walking brings along with it a new level of independence. For Aiden, walking is a long process of trial and error, of figuring out how to use his body in a way that he never has before.
Lean. Okay, balance. Okay, go. Go, buddy. You're going backwards. Hold on. Balance, 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 balance. You're not balancing, bud. Go, Aiden.
Aiden's hips are a lot more extended. His knees are able to extend more. So when he stands up, he's more up. The only thing we're working on now is the ankles. He tends to walk on his tippy toes, so we're trying to help him get his heel down.
Energetically, standing requires a new level of sustained physical effort. In order to help get that strength, we've been having Aiden learn how to climb stairs. He started gaining progress very quickly.
Yes. Good job. Hold on. Oh, you're walking now. You're doing. That's it, Aiden. That's it. That's it.
Hello, Aiden. How are you? Good for you. Again, another one.
Susan Hardy was Aiden's former physiotherapist when he was just an infant. Trained under Dr. Carl and Berta Bobar, pioneers in the natural treatment of children with cerebral palsy, Susan was strongly interested in our work and the results of our therapy.
28, 29, and 30.
For me, the most amazing thing is to see both arms in a crawling position, flat down with fingers open, hands open. He was doing it very comfortably.
Yeah, very good.
Having trained in the pioneering days of cerebral palsy treatment, one of the major concerns Susan has is the mechanization of modern interventions. Medicine now offers many surgical and mechanical options, but in Susan's mind, none can take place of natural hands-on care.
When you're working with the healthcare system, I mean, they are constantly putting restraints on the hands-on care they choose. So usually a time factor is a problem for the ones working in the healthcare system. You need a committed parent who trusts in what you're doing. It takes a lot of time, and it takes a team.
Yes. Nice. Push to mama.
So the big danger is now between 11 and 14 years of age, the growth is coming in, and the bones, he's going to grow. And that's always an enemy. So coming up against gravity, it's so critical. It's so critical. And how can we do it? Like coming up on a slight slope or an increasing slope, it would all be good. And it could be a lot of fun, because he could come rolling down the other side of the hill. And that would teach him to walk.
Good. Good job.
Our filming ends with Aiden, 2 years after he came to our studio. The boy who wasn't able to roll, crawl, or walk is just beginning his journey through life. As people in our field know, body-mind re-education is a never-ending process which, like a spiral, simply continues to unfold onto the next stage of life.
Good job, guys. Oh, Karina. Yay. Wait for Aiden. Slow.
In the last month or so, we've been, Karina and I have been participating in the sessions a lot more, and it's really fun. Karina and Aiden are playing more at home, very nicely, like not fighting as much as they used to. It's so nice to have something that we're all doing together, and it's fun for all of us, and we're all learning stuff. I'm learning stuff.
Good, Aiden. Nice.
A child's progress is much more than just motor learning. It's more holistic. It's more about being creative. It's more about being interested and engaged and working with peers and with family members, being expressive and being yourself.
Yeah, come on up. Come on up. That's it. 4. Goes.
Working with Aiden has been very special for me. To see his body unfold and become expressive, and to see him happy and interacting and feeling comfortable with himself. It's a beauty to be near that.
On this early fall day, Aiden, Karina, and Pamela have decided to go swimming on an island just off the coast of Toronto. The beach there is a favorite place to swim for the children, and Pamela has been going there every year since they were born. It's a place to relax and remember old battles and new challenges to come.
Standing and walking are definitely goals I've had for Aiden his whole life. And those two things are things I never gave up on. Although all the medical people rolled their eyes at me, I never gave up on that. And I was like, even if he just walks 10 steps, he has to walk. He's going to walk. So excited. He's walking. I can see he's thrilled. He's happy. He loves being upright. It's exciting and scary. It's both. It's like, wow, this is really happening. Who knows what it's going to mean, but it definitely means freedom. A lot more freedom. A miracle child means to me that you're beating the odds. Like you're doing something amazing. Like you are amazing. I think everyone is ultimately. The sky's the limit. I think he can do what he wants. If he has the will, he can do it. I mean, he's so simple. He really loves life.